Real quick, Gamesrups is doing a site-wide 20% sale for the next 2 days. If you use my code He'sGecking, you get 20% off of anything on the site, so you can go and restock on all of your favorite flavors, like Chug Jug and Lean, and the one that has fart in its name. Why did I sponsor with these people again? Do you remember Team of Three? A lot of people try not to. Team of Three is an alternate game mode in Guilty Gear Strive in which you play as a team of 3 versus another team of 3. It's supposed to be the big multiplayer mode of the game. You get down with a couple of your friends, you form a team with a couple of you guys in the back, someone in the front, and you just try to do stupid things in order to win. The Strive community has some mixed feelings of Team of Three. Nowadays, it's generally just seen as the testing bed for things that might have happened in Marvel Tokon, but a lot of people see it as kind of a waste of resources, something that the team really shouldn't have put a lot of time into, something that annoyed the community, and something that just delayed the things that we actually wanted. If you actually try to play Team of Three nowadays, the likelihood of you finding a match is very slim, like ridiculously slim. There is a matchmaking service for it, but even if you're queuing up as a full team, I highly doubt that you're going to find anyone who's actually queuing in the thing. And thus it has been relegated to the zone of forgotten game modes. A niche experiment that Arc System Works tried, but led to unfortunate failure. A relic of the past of Guilty Gear Strive. Speaking of Strive, it's feeling a bit stale right now, isn't it? A lot of people in the Strive community are kind of just waiting for the next big update. Guilty Gear Strive 2.0. It's gonna feel like a fresh game, the developers say. We haven't heard anything about 2.0 in quite a while. We got a little bit of insight in December, but aside from that, we're only really expecting to hear anything when we get to the Arc Wall Tour. Arxis is definitely ramping up the hype cycle a little bit with the smallest amount of teasers possible. Oh boy, there's gonna be Blaze Blue at the Arcwall Tour. I hope that this is Chekhov's gun and not something stupid. But a lot of people are saying that they're just kind of gonna take a break until 2.0 comes out. We've had this patch for quite a while now, so people are starting to say it feels a little bit stale. This happens all the time. Strive patches take a very long time to come out, and generally before the next major one, people tend to take a break and relax a little bit. Chill out, do something else, and just take a bit of a break off. But if your problem is that the game is feeling a little bit stale right now, I would like to introduce you to an alternative way of playing it that can add a little bit more spice to the flavor. Last Saturday, friend of the channel, Patriarch Panda, invited me to his weekly online tournament, being Pandemonium. Very good naming convention. However, this one was a little bit strange. It was a little bit wacky. The idea was pretty simple. We were going to be playing Guilty Gear Strive in the Team of 3 mode, but doing 1v1s. Now you may be thinking, what the fuck? What's the point of that? And the point is pretty simple. Team of 3 has a bunch of things that you can customize about your character before you go into it. When the game mode was new, it was generally used in order to make your assists stronger in different ways, giving you items that you could throw out. But there was one class in the game that allowed you to actually modify the ways that your characters worked. With the Vanguard class, you are able to equip 4 different items. These items affect different stats on your character, as well as having the possibility to give you different buffs and debuffs. Combine this with the fact that Team of 3 has slightly different physics than the rest of Guilty Gear Strive, and you get yourself in for a very interesting tournament. Here's how the game mode basically works. What if you were able to make builds that extended different pieces of your character? Then your opponent is also able to make a build, and now you fight. It's standard Strive, but things are a little bit different. These builds add a massive aspect to the game, and actually give it quite a bit of interesting competitive depth that I didn't expect. I went in with a pretty bog standard build, and I got my shit kicked in. But there was a lot of potential in the few matches that I actually ended up playing in the Team of 3 mode. You could make a very strong counter-hit build, similar to how I did, which focused primarily on the amount of damage that you would do to your opponent. You could make the exact opposite and run a hyper-defensive build, giving your character more guts every time that they take damage, meaning that they're harder to kill. You could go in a slightly different defensive route, giving your character access to more air options, meaning that you can play further runaway games. You could become a resource-generating monster, allowing you to restore your health, as well as constantly gain tension, allowing you to do more things. Or, the most evil one that I ever found, you could focus on doing a chip build, in which every single one of your attacks did even more chip damage than they usually do. Pairing this with some characters would lead to an insurmountable situation where the block string is doing about as much damage as the combo would. Messing around with the actual items and seeing what build you can do on your character was genuinely really fun. Just seeing the shit that people were pulling in the actual tournament stream was utterly insane. We had a Nagori Yuki that went a full counter hit build and kind of just kept fishing for 6Hs. And it fucking hurt. It really hurt. Making the builds themselves is also super simple. You literally just go into the edit skill section, go to the equipment, and read what the skills do. You can test them out in the unique training mode that the game has, though it is a little bit less fleshed out than Guilty Gear's actual training mode. And due to the slightly wonky physics, combos generally end up being a little bit longer than they do in the normal Guilty Gear mode. You can kind of just get away with things in this that you wouldn't normally, which lends to a nice, fresh environment that allows you to do very dumb things. I really enjoyed this mode. It wasn't as serious, given the fact that some characters were doing ridiculous shit that was really annoying, but it was a nice, fun alternative that added a layer of depth that I didn't actually expect. I think if you're looking for a way to enjoy Strive while you're waiting for a big update that you might not have thought about, get a couple of friends and try 1v1s in Team of 3. Just think of the stupidest build that you can and go wild with it. It gives me memories of casual modes in like older fighting games. Things aren't as balanced and things can get out of hand very quickly, but there is a joy in trying something and seeing what happens. I really enjoyed the Wacky Pandemonium, and I've heard that Panda's gonna put on a couple of more of them, so go check him out if you want to see when the next one happens. I might end up being there again because it was very fun. But I think if you gave Team of 3 a pass, or if you're looking for something a little bit more casual in Guilty Gear, then you should give this a shot. I think that this is one of the most fun ways to play Strive, and I would genuinely be down for a different fighting game to have a build-like system before the start of every match, just to see how chaotic things could get. It's worth a laugh, it's super fun, and it's already in the game. So get a couple of friends and go have fun in Team of 1. Let's go with that. Thank you all for watching. This was a little bit time sensitive because I wanted to make sure I got it out as fast as I could. Make sure to use code He'sGecking to get 20% off of anything on the Gamesrups store right now. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time.